Hey guys, back again on another video. This time we'll be reviewing, or at least doing a quick once over on the Steinhart Nav-B Chrono. This is the blue dial chrono. So this is a automatic chronograph from Steinhart. You can get it for around, I think, $1,000. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. You get a Swiss-made automatic chronograph, and you don't have to spend Omega Speedmaster money, right? There are a few other brands that are cheaper than the Speedmaster as well, but this is a good pilot's chronograph. So right now this is a 42 millimeter case size, so it's pretty big, but it's that's pretty good for a chronograph. I've seen pilot styled chronographs go as large as like 44, even 48. So 42 is a good size to wear. The thickness, I think it's like 14 or 15 millimeters thick. So again, this is an automatic chronograph movement, so that's where a lot of the thickness comes from. It's that Valjoux 7750, I believe. On the case, we got a very nice, oh, let me focus here. We got a nice brushed side on the case, brushed lugs, and we go up to a polished bezel around the sapphire crystal. It did not come with this bracelet. This was an additional option. It actually comes on these black pilot styled leather straps with the faux rivets on the top here. It's a nice strap. It's signed with the Steinhart buckle. Let me put this down for a minute. You know, I was expecting worse. You know, it's nothing crazy. It's just a nice black leather strap with the burnished edges and everything. Maybe it's burnished. I don't know if that's paint or not, but still, it's pretty good. I think the reason why it comes on a leather strap is because this thing weighs a ton, right? So it's a big chunk of metal on your wrist, and I think the bracelet, it adds a lot of weight to it. So I think that's why they do the leather, but it's manageable. You know, I like having a heavy feeling thing in my wrist, so I don't mind it. So yep, I guess we'll go over the bracelet real quick. So it's your standard Steinhart bracelet. They have a high polish on the chamfer here with a brushed surface on top, a high polished buckle. You know, standard ocean styled bracelet here. So you get brushed side links here and a high polished mid link. It actually flows very nice because you got brushed surfaces, brushed, and it flows into the brushed case, whereas the middle flows into the high polished bezel. So nice design on there from Steinhart. Let me wipe this down for a minute and we'll go over the dial here. So this is one of Steinhart's best dials I think they ever made. So it's a blue dial. However, we have these like vertical, I don't even know what you call them, like just vertical lines going throughout the entire dial. So in the sunlight, it catches all these little divots, all these cuts in the dial, and it really pops in sunlight. But it's kind of hard to show here, but in the real world, it's really stunning. So let's go over the dial here. So each of the numerals, as well as all the hands, even the chronograph hands, like the one on the top subdial and the one on the bottom subdial, and even this giant chronograph seconds hand, it's all covered in lume. So at night this thing glows a nice bright green. Let me just wipe my fingerprints off it so we can really take a good look at this. So down here we have two subdials. We have one on top and one on the 6 o'clock. It is a black radial sunburst effect on that subdial here. So this is the 12-hour counter, where the 6 would be on a normal subdial. That is the date window. So today is the 19th. I kind of like that hidden date window. I've seen other ones where the Steinhart logo is. There are other Valjoux 7750s that give you the date, which is usually at the 3 o'clock position, but I guess Steinhart made one with the small date at the bottom here. So you have your 30-minute counter on top, and this is your 12-hour counter. And then on the left, at the 9 o'clock position, this is the running seconds for the local time. So So very, very nice style. And again, this is a chronograph, so you get the chronograph function here. Unfortunately, this movement does have the ever so covered value stutter. That's why the seconds hand is kind of juddery. It doesn't affect the actual timekeeping. The timekeeping is still pretty spot on. It's not as smooth as like the sub-dial second here. What's interesting though is that when I put the watch upside down, that problem goes away. Now it's pretty smooth. That judder doesn't happen. So I guess maybe there's some pressure on the gear train or something that's happening, because now I'm maybe putting downward pressure on something that's making the gears catch. But yeah, just something to call out. Unfortunately, there's really not much you can, I mean, you can send it to a watchmaker and have them look at it, but you know, this is a very common annoyance with a lot of value 7750 movements. And we're about to hit 1 minute, and you get that top sub-dial hand did jump. And as time goes on, you see the 12 there, the small indice next to the 12, that's a 30-minute marker. That long indice next to that is a 1 hour marker. So if that hand is pointing to 1 hour, that long indice there, you do 1 hour, and then you add whatever the minutes are up here in order to get your time. So, you know, you can pause your chronograph if you want. You can restart it. And then to reset it, press the bottom one here. Everything snaps back to the 12 o'clock position. So other than the value stutter, this is a very accurate movement. I think I'm getting like plus 2 or 3 seconds a day on it, which I think is great. Can't ask for anything better than that. So yeah, I'll show you the case back next. So they do give you a display case back, which is nice. Unfortunately, there's really not much decoration going on here, and the value movement is a pretty utilitarian looking movement, but I mean, you get to see your balance wheel there at least. Steinhart does at least give you a custom rotor with the Steinhart cutout and Steinhart logo. But other than that, you're not going to find any perlage or Geneva striping or any real finishing at all, to be honest. It's just, you know, a flat movement here. So, but I'd rather it be there than have a solid case back, so I do appreciate the sapphire case back as well. But yeah, it's a very nice watch. Let me put it on the wrist for you guys. Give me 1 minute. Again, I have a 7-inch wrist. I don't know if I can go any bigger than this watch, but it's oops. Let me zoom out here actually. It fits my wrist. I mean, like I said, I don't know if I would go any bigger than that, but it's nice. Right. You know, the pushers are a little hard to push in, but that's just because it's I think about a vertical clutch chronograph. It's not a column wheel as you find in like the Omega Speedmaster, or there's also that Seagull Chinese movement in a lot of the Seagull, those Chinese chronograph. That's actually a column wheel, but this is a Swiss vertical clutch, so it's not gonna have that smooth. You gotta push it down pretty hard, but that's okay. So yeah, that's the Steinhart Nav-B chronograph in the blue striped dial. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.